Hello. Stephanie Zima here, My Way of Life Coaching. And today we're going to talk and tackle a little bit the scarcity mindset that so many of us are dealing with. Because let me be real here with you for a second. You cannot build a successful life or business if you are dealing with scarcity mindset. And that is why we need to really talk about it, tackle it, dive deep into it, heal it, connect with our new authentic self, and level up from there. So, first and foremost, we're going to start. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so right now. Just subscribe because every week I am uploading a video content that is designed to help you with your business. And the reason for that is because I know that so many of you have the same dream that I have, right? Financial freedom. We want to do better for our families. We want to be able to build our nest egg. We want to be able to strive. And from my past, I realized that, yeah, network marketing, online businesses, and creating this was a great tool. But then the reality hit. I was a housewife. I was a mother. I didn't know how to build a business. I didn't know how to do all the things, how to create content, how to sell, I had no idea. And if that was me, I'm sure that was you also. And that is you maybe right now. So this is why I decided to create content to help you kind of learn just like I did, because I didn't have an upline that was really taking me by the hand and nurturing me through and helping me step by step. Not to say anything, it's just happened the way how it did. So I needed to learn on my own. So here I am. I'm wanting to teach you for free right now so that you can also learn if you want to. So don't forget to subscribe. All right, let's dive right in. What is scarcity mindset? Scarcity is a belief that resources are limit, right? The belief that in your brain, in your thoughts, maybe they're subconscious. So don't think like, I don't even think about anything. Maybe they're subconscious, right? But there are thoughts that something is limited. Maybe time, maybe energy, maybe money, maybe love, maybe clients. Okay, there's not enough of something out there. That is a scarcity mindset, and it shows up in overthinking every investment maybe that you're making. See, the Freedom Mentorship is $27 a month. $27 a month. We spend $27 without blinking an eye. So many of us do. But when it comes to asking you to invest $27 per month into your personal growth, into having a mentor, so many of you are like, I don't know if I should do that. Come on. That is a scarcity mindset right there. Overthinking an investment of $27 is just insane. Okay. Note that. Undercharging or not charging at all, if that is you, that is also scarcity mindset, because you might think, if I should pay more, if I charge more for this one thing, maybe people are not going to buy it. See, I purposely chose $27 for my mentorship because my product, I also have one-on-one coaching available. That's a lot more. But my product, the Freedom Mentorship, is designed for these beginning people, the people that are not really sure how to go about things, maybe, not really knowing anything about mindset and how it plays a role, not knowing anything about how to get their mission, how to build a funnel, how to put all the things together. This is why, and these people that I am wanting to teach in that Freedom Mentorship group, they don't have thousands and thousands of dollars yet that they can invest. Okay, that's just what it is. You just start out and maybe you make $100 a month, maybe 500, that'll be great. But I feel like $27 is a price point that everyone can pay so that they have some skin in the game, but they are also going to be able to get value out of it so that they can grow bigger and better and they can actually have results. And that is impact, right? I am an impact driven person. That's what I love to do. So if you are, however, undercharging or not charging at all, a lot for maybe your nutrition plan or, that free content that you like to give away, That is a scarcity mindset, you guys. Okay. Feeling exhausted, but never enough is a scarcity. Fear of competition and comparison. Now, how many of you, let's be honest here for a second, how many of you are actually comparing yourself? You're looking on Instagram, you're looking at all these people, and you're like, I'm not like that. You make yourself small. That is an scarcity mindset. Hoarding time, energy, or fearing delegation. Scarcity mindset. If you don't want to give up something to your team, if you don't want someone to take a challenge and run with that because you feel like you need to do it to be having it done right, that is scarcity. Okay. But let me tell you right now, if that is you and you found yourself in any of those things that I was talking about, it's not your fault. It's just conditioning. Okay. So let's find out where it comes from. It comes from your childhood when you've been told, we cannot afford that. Maybe it's emotional scarcity, lack of affection, validation. Okay. Maybe it is a cultural family programming. Hard work equals worth, right? A lot of times that, like me, I'm coming from Germany. That is what it was. When we work hard on something, it was worth something. Maybe you've been told rich people are greedy. So, you actually repelling money instead of attracting it because you don't want to be associated with those people, right? Have you think about it? You got to really dig in there for a minute and think about what is in your brain because your thoughts are unique to you. My thoughts are mine. I can give you my perspective as an example so that you can understand what it is. But the real key here for growth will be for you to learn you, for you to think, what am I thinking? What am I doing here? And that is my hope for you, that you are using my content to sit and sit with your journal and maybe talk about it to yourself and think about it. How is this affecting you in your life? So maybe it's coming from generational trauma, survival mentality. You are constantly having to survive because you were constantly under attack, right? For whatever reason and however. Maybe it's business trauma, failed launches, rejections, financial insecurity. I was rejected from uplines so many times. I've asked so many questions. Why and how do I do this? How do I do this? And no one ever gave me the answer. And I couldn't figure out why. And there were so many times, like, I was thinking, like, do they not know? Or do they not want to tell me? And then I started getting insecure about myself, thinking, well, maybe they don't want me to win. And that spiraled me into the trauma that I've had from childhood that I did not realize it at that time, but it was actually coming back to the narcissism that I had endured, and the fact that no, I wasn't allowed to shine. I was supposed to show my light really dim. I was never allowed to celebrate my wins or, be anything that I wanted to be. I was very repressed, and none of that was conscious. Okay. So I want you to understand that when you feel triggered at certain different points, those triggers are cues. Those are clues to what might need to be healed in your childhood, in your mindset, in your thoughts, right? Because those thoughts are going to create emotions, and those emotions are going to create your actions, and your actions are going to create what? Yes, your results. Exactly. So, business trauma, failed launches. If you launch something and it just never went anywhere, it doesn't mean that you are not having or meant for success. It just means that you have found a way not to launch, or maybe your wording is not right, or your tonality is not right, or your audience is not right. Right? Often you can be the best coach ever, in the best network marketer ever, and the best realtor ever, but your audience is not right. So if you try to sell a steak and say, oh, look at this juicy steak, it's so amazing, to a bunch of vegans, what do you think they're going to do? They're not going to buy that steak. It's just what it is, right? So maybe your audience is wrong. There's a lot of different factors that are playing in that you need to figure out and be aware of. Okay, how do we heal the scarcity mindset then, you might ask to yourself? So how do we do this? How do we move from knowing we have scarcity in our life to going forward, right? Step one is awareness. You can't heal what you don't see. You need to become aware. You need to, first and foremost, write down all these thoughts that you are having in your brain. Write them down. Notice when it's activated. Decisions from fear, pricing, panic, envy, over control. What is it? What is it for you? Sit with that. Really sit with that and just have a blank piece of paper and write it all down. What are you feeling? Where is it showing up? Is it money? Is it just decisions, like you don't feel like you have enough time? Maybe it's you have enough time, just saying. Everybody has 24 hours. It's the matter of focus or boundaries that are maybe misaligned here. Okay, but awareness is step number one. Step number two is regulate your nervous system. See, we have to learn how to calm ourselves down, how to process our emotions. We need to learn that scarcity is actually a survival mode. Abundance starts in safety. So you can see what happens, right? If you never learn how to get out of your survival mode, if your nervous system is constantly shooting, you're never going to get abundance. You're never going to attract that because you are still constantly operating under a scarcity. Okay? You got to learn how to calm that nervous system, how to calm yourself down, and then how to attract abundance that starts with your safety. You can practice breath work, for example, maybe grounding, maybe meditation, or, for me, it was just rest. I just needed to rest. I get always overly strong, and I know people in my circle, they're like, oh, you're so aggressive. Like, they never realized that what I really needed was rest. I was always hustling because back then hustle mode meant good work, meant acceptance, meant love. Okay? And what I had to learn when I healed that part, what I had to learn was I'm worth right now without doing anything. I'm worthy of love right now without doing anything. And I'm worthy of success right now without doing anything. And I'm worthy of everything that comes to me right now without doing anything. So what I really needed was rest. Okay, rest. And then that came with a second little demon in that, like, rest is laziness, rest is, all these thoughts would pop into my head when I started to grow that part of me. And it was just this rat tail of thoughts and opinions and all these things. That is your inner critic, my friends, right? That is who you have sitting in the back of your neck and constantly talking to you and checking all the boxes, and you are not even aware. So regulating your nervous system and becoming aware, super important for you to move out of that scarcity mindset into where you want to go. Abundance is regulated nervous system, right? Calming down, having a different outlook, having a different feel about yourself. That all comes from healing. Okay. And there are moments that I still snap into the old me all over the time. It still happens from time to time, especially when I get stressed, right? When we are about to go, or like, old patterns are always going to be with you. They're never going to be completely gone. But what changes over time is the quickness on how you recognize it and how you change it, how you recognize it and change it. Okay. It's not anymore like the fire is going to burn all the way until the fire explodes. Now you recognize, whoop, there's a fire, meaning your trigger, there's a fire, and that fire gets blown out before it even hits the, I don't even know what that's called, but you know what I mean, right? So anyway, now step number 3 would be rewire that narrative. Okay, so that person, when I wanted to rest, it said, oh, you're so lazy. Am I? No, I am not. I am not lazy. I deserve to rest. Okay. Now you can rewrite that narrative. You are aware of the thought, you are lazy. You can make your own opinion from your adult self right now. Are you lazy, or are you deserving rest, or are you have maybe you have already done a gazillion things and you deserve to like take a 20-minute nap, right? You don't have to push through all the time. So replace, the thought that is keeping you stuck with the rest of it, right? With a more productive thought. Okay, so if you think, for example, there's not enough of something, because so many of us are thinking money, right? There's not enough, or not enough clients, something is not enough. There's always more where that came from. You can, every time your brain wants to say, there's not enough of that, you can say there's always more from where that came from. There's always more from what, oh my gosh, why can I not say it? There's always more from where that came from. Okay, so maybe money, maybe clients, time, or infinitive when aligned. Okay, that's what it is. Focus is super important. Money, clients, time, everything can come. It's infinite when aligned. Now, use affirmations that feel believable and grounded. Okay, you need to use something that actually works for you. I am safe to receive. I'm allowed to rest. There's more than enough for me and others, right? Figure out what sentences you could use, what affirmations you could use that offset that thought that you're having. You know, um, maybe you can say, if I'm rested, I do better for others, right? If you are having problems with your worth around rest, for example. Taking aligned action would be now step number 4. So we have awareness, we have nervous system, we have rewiring the narrative, and now we have step 4, which is take aligned action. What is aligned action? Okay, it's a loaded question and way bigger than my little YouTube video is going to have time for right now. But basically, it is show up when you are scared. So if you're scared, notice it, show up anyway. Generosity rewires scarcity. See, why do I have so much free content? Why do I do this over and over and over again? Because you know what? I want you to learn, even if you don't pay the $27. I want you to learn. I want you to be able to take something from it. And you know what? It's for you, so you can do that. But it's also for me. Let's be honest. It's also for me because, here's the thing. Scarcity, I also have scarcity. I grew up in a country where scarcity was the number one thing. Like, there was not enough of everything. We were just coming back from the war at that time. My grandmother and my parents, they were coming from the war, so their mindset was very much scarcity mindset, and that's what I grew up with, right? So we didn't have generosity. No, it was mine, 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 and that was it. But that also builds and breeds that scarcity mindset, and I wanted to overcome that for myself. So I teach and teach and teach, and all the things that I've learned, that I paid a lot of money for with my mentors and my masterminds, I'm teaching for free, because it's rewiring my scarcity mindset from what I can say. And if there's more, and if it helps you, I'll be happy, right? So that's that. That is that. Give, create, serve from overflow, because you know what? There's always going to be more, right? There's always going to be more. I can give you a little bit in a YouTube video that's for free, but there is always going to be more if you join the mentorship, because in there I can actually help you one-on-one. We can have conversations. I can decide, I can figure out what your unique problem is. You can talk to me. We can ask questions. We can coach you through your specific questions or thoughts that you're having. And that's where it even is more. So even if this is a lot already for you to get started in the mentorship, there's even more that is there. So no scarcity here, right? Okay, connect to your truth. That is super important. Your truth is not scarcity. It's overflow, it's alignment, and it's joy. Your true self knows you are not behind. There's more time. There is more dream clients than you can ever believe, right? There's so many people out there. The more you give, the more you actually grow. Okay? So imagine yourself for a second, from now living in abundance. That does What does that do for you? Think about it for a second. If you are in abundance, okay, what would that do for you? What would that do for your clients? What would that do for your power? Think about it. Now, steps to walk it free. Identify your scarcity mindset. Let's recap this for a second, okay? Identify your scarcity mindset. Speak to your inner child. Who are you, right? Talk to her. Move your body. Go do something. Walk, stretch, dance, do something, right? Do something that shifts your energy. Then create before you consume. It is so important that you do not start scrolling when you first show up. Do not go onto social media. Do not go on it. Start creating. When I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, the first hour of my day, you know what I do? I create. I write scripts. I think. I write my gratitude. I do stuff. Then I go work out and move my body so I can get a different energy. And that is what's been really setting me up for success. Okay. And then last but not least, get the mentorship. Okay. It's just $27, you guys. Come on. Come in, try it out, ask questions, be there, grow with us, and then, go from there. If you want to level up and get onto one-on-one coaching, let's see if there's still space, because I have limited space. I can't do everybody, but maybe there's space for you, so you can always ask. And then from there, you heal, you connect, and you level up. All right. I think this was all I wanted to say. Comment below what your thoughts are, please, and then tag somebody that also needs to see that, and then share it to others. All right. Walk it free. Let's heal, connect, and level up. And I love to see you in the Freedom Mentorship or in my DMs.